So now I'm marking here some area which is going to be highlights. So I'm just creating a small shape over here so that I can remember that while shading these are the highlights and I need not to do the. Hello and welcome back. Today I'm drawing an apple. To draw apple I'll be using four types of pencil: HB, 2B, 6B and 8B. You can use 4B and 6B also. Since I don't have 4B, that's why I have chosen 6B and 8B. HB pencil I'll be using for outline and 2B for the base layer of shading. Further, the 6B and 8B I'll be using for the darker tones. So let's get started. Fruits are very integral part of our life, and in fact they are very important in drawing also. Why? Because it has almost all properties which we practice during the drawing process, such as curvature, the tonal value, the rounding, the texture, whatnot. This is also not only applicable for apple as a fruit, but it is in general applicable for all the fruits because it is basic nature. They are very important, element for the still life drawing as well. So today we'll be drawing that. As we know, apple is almost round in nature, so I have drawn here a circle, and then later I'll be giving it a shape of an apple by narrowing down it at the bottom. So right now I'm just adding a stalk of the apple. So now I'm marking here some area which is going to be highlights. So I'm just creating a small shape over here so that I can remember that while shading these are the highlights and I need not to do the dark shading on this. Apart from that, these are, if you can see here, I am doing a small curvy line shade to represent the depth, because this particular area is a little depth one. Let's now add some background so that it will give us a look of that the apple is kept on onto something. So I'm just creating a table like structure over here, the top of the table, and I will also add the shadow line over here, a shape of the shadow. So if you are still watching the video, thank you very much, and if you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It is going to give me a lot of motivation to make such videos. And if you are new to the channel, you can subscribe to my channel if you like the video. Thank you. Let's move forward and see how we can do the shading. So let's start with the base shading now, and I'll be using the 2B pencil. So while shading, we need to keep in the mind that the structure of the apple. So structure of the apple is round. So all the shadings, majority of them are going to be rounded in nature. Here, as I am doing the curvature shading, because it has a depth, so there will be the curved line which will be dense at the in the middle, and then it will be spreading out. So let's. To start with the other part of the apple, which is like the front part of it, since it is going down, so all the shading will be curvy in nature. And so if you draw a straight line to curve this apple, this will not look real, because it will not give you the curvature. It will not show you the curvature of the apple because it is rounded in nature, right? So ideally, when you look at any apple from the angle, it shows you the curve. So if you just draw a straight line, it will not look real. Now I'm blending the shading a little bit with the help of brush, and this is a simple paint brush you can get outside in the market. This I had already available at my home, so I have started using this. This is quite good, and while blending, you need to just use the circular motion to and blend it in the direction of the shade itself. As you can see, I have kept the highlighted area not shade, because those are the highlights. So if I shade it over, it will not look good, and that's why I have kept it as is. But I'm doing a small bit of just extension to the existing shading to the highlighted area, so that it will blend properly and it will give you the smoother look. For the base layer of the shadow, I'm again using 2B pencil and giving it a very light shade. Then later on, we'll be using the darker, grade pencils for the another tonal values. For next darker tone shading, I'm using 6B, and the pencil strokes are going to be same as the previous base layer shading. I'm also not shading again. I'm not going to shade on the highlighted area. It will be like only I'll be leaving those part and then shading it further. Now I'm using 8B pencil to give even one more darker layer. And if you are using 6B or 4B pencil, just apply a little more pressure so that it will give you a little darker tone compared to the previous one. Now let's shade the stalk with the darker tone. I'm using this eraser with a very light pressure. I'm applying the strokes in the same direction as we did it for the pencil shading, so that at last, let's add few dots of highlights with the help of Tombow Mono Zero eraser, as there are the few dots available in my subject apple. So we will just apply a small pressure and add few random dots overall on the apple image. To make the shadow area darker, I am using the Faber-Castell 2B pencil. Since I do not have 4B, that's why I am using the Faber-Castell, but if you have 4B pencil, you can use the 4B pencil. Generally, Faber-Castell 2B is darker than the Apsara 2B pencil. That's why I'm using this. I did one extra layer of shade with the 10B pencil, similar to the previous shading, to provide the darker look. So if you have liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.